Trouble in Paradise podcast is intended for mature audiences. This means you will hear realistic adult language such as and go off. Audience discretion is advised.
What is knob polishing?
You're gonna make me say this. I am a neglected man.
I like to think that I look like a jack, even though my name's really Bob.
Does he have danglers or something?
Well, it's time to go do them lighthouse duties.
Sitting in the cheese at the old Walmart to cool off.
That should be the headline. Man tasered in the nuts after stealing beef.
Yeah, but you're not gonna sit in the cheese. You're not gonna sit in the cheese, and you're not gonna put ribeyes down your pants either.
House cleaning is secondary. So what is the Viagra triangle?
Possibly we aid in your digestion.
I don't know if his little hand is smaller than his little ears or what.
Aw, well maybe he has a syndrome.
Want to go check out my RV? It's parked right around the corner. Because I'm pretty sure that I saw some moose knuckle.
No.
There is absolutely some moose knuckle going on.
My swampy friend. What the hell is a swampy friend?
So they're not going to get any scraping on their shaft.
Yes, I'm going to do a downward dog.
Okay, pretty lady. You had on those gosh darn sexy leather-looking shorts.
Ladies and gentlemen, and assholes, gather around. It's time for another action-packed episode of
Trouble in Paradise.
Hi, I'm Nigel Ken.
And I'm Jazmine Starr.
And welcome to Trouble in Paradise,
where we talk about everything amazing, awkward, auspicious, and sometimes even ass-tastic here in Southwest Florida.
And speaking of ass-tastic, we have some wonderful, wonderful, very, very New Yorky guests by the name of Steve DiSchiavi and Ray Marino. We're very pleased to be live streaming with you, gentlemen. I'm going to call you gentlemen, but
Thank you.
we use that term loosely around here.
Thanks for having us. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, I think so. For those of you who don't know, Ray Marino is a former New York Police Department detective for 20 years, a U.S. Customs and Border Protection officer for 10 years. He's got 3 kids, which is proof that he's gotten laid at least 3 times. He's been in Florida for 2 years now, which if that went the way for you that it went for me, that means you're not getting laid anymore. And he also does some real estate and some security, and I kind of think you helped Steve out with some projects here and there,
No,
don't
it's
you?
the other way around.
The other way around.
It's the other way around.
Yes. And then Steve DiSchiavi is a U.S. Marine Corps veteran, former NYPD detective himself, and the host of the travel channel's The Dead Files, which is currently filming its 13th season.
Yeah.
That is a hallmark of success for Steve, and he claims that he's the one that does all the helping with the projects when Ray needs help.
You ain't shitting.
So what have you guys been working on lately?
His irrigation system, and I got to paint for him now. I had to pick out first. I have to pick out the paint because he has no taste whatsoever, and then
Is that why he's wearing that shirt?
I didn't want to say anything about the shirt. We are in Florida though, so it works out good.
Flamingos.
But yeah, that's the next. I'm gonna start painting on Tuesday, I think, or maybe tomorrow. I don't know yet. I may cut in tomorrow.
Excellent.
So
yeah, cutting in is fun. I had to do. I mean, I
sucks.
guess it's not really fun, but
the prep is the worst part. I mean, the painting is the easy part.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the cutting in and the prepping that's a pain in the ass.
are you a taper or are you a freehand?
I
guy?
could freehand on the ceiling, but on the floor, I don't like to take a chance. I could definitely freehand the ceiling, but and edges. But for some reason, the floor, it's where I get on my knees and I fucking fall over like a turtle. I don't want to take a chance, so I'll bring my I'll tape that, and then
So how
the green tape.
Yeah, so you also, though, have a new YouTube channel.
We just put up 5 videos today.
5 videos today.
So
Yes.
it's taken us a while to get this going because we got the patience. We got no patience to sit there. He did it. He did it all.
And I'm not computer savvy, but I got it together.
Well, it seems to be working. I think you have 10 subscribers. It's called The Adventures of Steve and Ray.
Yeah, we just did this. We literally went up and put the 5 videos up this afternoon, I guess.
Right. Well, according to this, the videos have only been posted between 1 and 2 hours.
Right.
So for anybody that is watching and want to subscribe to the Adventures of Steve and Ray, and they are freaking hilarious. If you guys don't follow them on Instagram, there's going to be some good entertainment that's posted on their channel. So.
Yeah, and that Sanford and Son video was a lot of fun.
Oh, dude, that was a long day.
I mean, Ray could be a professional laugher. Like, because this guy can just, you just keep throwing this shit over your shoulder at him, and he just comes back with a big laugh. But you get, definitely everybody check that channel out, The Adventures of Steve and Ray.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
that's per fan request. Like, everybody on my Instagram's like, you guys got to get a YouTube channel. And I'm like, he's like, bro, let's get it done. And his son's trying to talk us through it. And I'm like, we're two idiots. I mean,
Your son did a good job then.
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
helped
my
him
little
out.
guy Louie's good with that stuff. And
So,
It's
I mean,
natural, too.
we only
Very
put up 5 videos because it takes a while to upload this crap. And then,
Well, you got to get off the dial-up, Steve.
no, it's his house that we were doing it at.
Oh.
This guy's still got a mouse from 1975.
it works.
You got to see this thing. And he's still on,
Well,
I don't want to plug
I was-
anything, but he's not on the computers I'm used to using.
Well, we know that he received a new coffee maker. Thanks to you.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Yeah, that has a faster drip rate than you were accustomed to.
Yeah.
And also we have to figure out something, hopefully, with that slot machine, not on the.
I mean,
Charlie.
That was a
on
gift
the-
from his buddy Charlie.
on the.
It's not really possible for a coffee maker to be too fast for anybody, is it? They're
No.
all so fucking slow.
No, but
Did you see the old one he had? That thing.
Slow and steady wins the race.
I'm like, where'd you get this fucking thing? He's like, oh, I've had that for 30 years.
Yeah,
Mr. Coffee.
Yeah, so that was a great gift.
Yeah.
But
He's frugal. He likes to hold on to shit.
Well, if
it
you get
works.
30 years out of a coffee maker, that's you're either really good at fixing coffee makers or you're really frugal
Or you're
both.
cheap. Or you're cheap.
Joe DiMaggio sold it to me.
Yeah, when he was alive.
And he got 30 years out of it. So what's up with the irrigation system? And is it one of these things where it's like one letter off from the word irritation system, or
I think we did a pretty good job. We got some crew, good buddy Charlie and Mike and Steve, and they come over and help me because I'm the guy that sits down and serves the water and just does the minimal.
Yeah,
They do a lot of the
Supervisor.
Work for me.
Yeah, he did
yeah,
18,000.
I saw you sitting on Steve here. And
Why
Oh,
sat-
that was that was.
Oh, I sat on
last
him.
month.
We were fixing our friend Bobby's irrigation system.
Just-
That was another thing. We were fixing his
can
irrigation.
you guys fix my irrigation system?
Sure, it's a good hobby.
It's you got a friend Bobby. Are these guys Italian guys?
Yeah, all our friends
Yeah.
are Italian.
And
And all
is-
from New York.
Are they all like typical like Bobby, Mikey, Vinny?
Yeah, Mikey, Charlie, Bobby.
Good. And then you guys are just Ray and Steve.
That's it.
Ray and Steve,
yeah.
Stevie and
so
Ray.
how did you guys meet?
We met in narcotics back in 94. 94.
You don't want to know what I
Working
was
or
doing.
doing?
No, both actually. no, working. Yeah, I had been in narcotics a few years already, and then Ray came in. This is an age difference here. He's 5 years younger than me, so there's that. He's got 5 years
couldn't
less
tell.
on. He came on the job 5 years after I did, so he's a rookie. He was a rookie in my eyes. But we hit it off really quick, and became fast friends, and that was it.
Did you always stay in the narcotics unit, or
No.
Did you...
I left and went to the detective bureau, and then from in the bureau, I went to the homicide squad. Ray did the same thing, went to the bureau like I did, and then wound up in arson and explosion.
Yeah, after narcotics, I went to.
Matter of fact, when I was doing I was on
Arson and explosion?
Yeah,
Okay. That's
was
really
where
what
I
it's
was-
called.
Yeah.
Do they call
Yeah.
it A&E, or is it just...
yeah, it's A&E. Yeah,
exactly,
exactly.
yeah.
What the fuck is with all these explosions lately around the world, man? Gas explosions, and then whatever the hell happened in Beirut. Holy man!
I looked like
That's a long
an atom
story.
bomb when it went off, right?
We'd like to maybe get your take on that at some point.
Well, he's more the professional when it comes
Yeah.
to. Don't ask him to describe what a fire is, because I'll stab him.
You know what the definition
Oh,
of
we
a
don't-
fire is? We'll get to that another time.
We did bring the bucket of conspiracies just in case we need a little extra material tonight. and it's possible that explosions is in the bucket of conspiracies.
Boom.
The girl that cuts my hair, the lady that cuts my hair, woman, she cracks me up because she's into this whole conspiracy thing. And we talk about it when I get my hair cut. Matter of fact, yesterday I was there getting my hair cut, and she's telling me about something to do with the pizza connection and all this other stuff.
Did you tell her?
Well, now the pizza connection, me and him know, was a heroin ring in New York.
Oh.
That had a bunch of pizza parlors were involved in it. And it was all wise guys that were dealing heroin. So I said, you talk about the heroin case in New York? She's like, no.
Oh, this is a pedophilia thing.
Yeah, it's
right?
a whole pet. And I had no clue. I'm clueless in Seattle with that stuff. So I'm like, okay. And she kept talking about it and apparently certain words and all this other stuff. So I'm like,
Right.
Yeah, there's a whole
and
code
I love her to
language.
death, but I'm like, listen, I don't want to hear about Bigfoot. I don't want to hear about the Loch Ness Monster.
Oh, boy, this is going to be so much fun.
I said I don't want to hear about. I don't want to hear about it. Was the lone? It wasn't a lone gunman. I don't want to hear about any of his stuff.
Well, the thing is, once you start thinking about this shit, some of you come across a detail or two that makes you go, well, fuck everything I thought. And then you have to spend there's this big process that you go through, and it's really, really, can be very frustrating for people. So we'll save the bucket of conspiracies for if we get really desperate. In the meantime, we have a great agenda of other fun stuff, including a grudge match of True Factor bullcrap between Steve DiSchiavi and Ray Marino. We're going to find out how good of friends these guys are and how well they know each other.
Well, I'm definitely a better friend than he is.
That's hurtful.
And then we're going to bring back a segment where we question the sanity of people who seem to have gone a little overboard. We like to call that segment "Okay, Karen," and an only in Florida segment featuring a really good drive-through road rage tantrum, which I've been looking forward to all week since I came across it.
Yeah, I'm the road rage guy out of the two of us. He can just.
You road rage from the passenger seat.
Yeah, he's fucking like driving Miss Daisy. You got to see him.
Everything's beautiful. Keep it easy.
Trucks, semis are fucking passing us 100 miles an hour, and he's
We get where we got to go safely.
with no gas.
No gas, we still make it.
Who drove to Bonita Springs today?
I did, yeah, because I wanted to get here.
So do you have the reverse problem? Like, are you afraid when Steve drives? Like, are you nervous and stuff, or?
Well, he's not the greatest driver in the world.
Better than you.
I don't know about that. You got
I
me
can
scared a
guarantee
few
you,
times.
I'm a better driver than this guy.
I used to drive taxi cabs.
You listen. I hate to say, I don't like to disparage old ladies, but he drives like an old lady, like an
We're
old,
in Florida.
like
We're
he's
supposed to
90 with reading glasses on. That's
Florida.
how he drives.
I'm in no rush.
Well-
I'm in a rush to go somewhere.
Sometimes you're in a rush.
No, we got here on time. We would have got here on time even if I drove. So there.
You actually arrived with time to spare.
I know.
So you
It
probably
was-
could have driven.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
I mean, we'd just be getting started now, probably, though. If I'm taking
Just
Steve
getting
at
out.
his word.
You know what I equate him, Ray, like leaving his house to go someplace. Remember when your first kid, and you used to walk out of the house and just go out, and then you had your first kid, and you had to go with you had to bring all the shit, and it took you a half hour to get out the door.
Yes.
Well, he's my infant. Trying to get out of the fucking house with him. Walks out, he walks hobbling out, and he's like, "Oh, let me check the mail. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta move this. Oh, let me check. What is this?" And,
Forgot my keys. I got to go back in and get my keys.
yeah, he's like an infant trying to get him home or get him out.
So before we jump into some True Factor bullcrap here, if you guys need to contact us, you can follow us at Tipcast239 on Twitter, Trouble239 on Instagram, trouble@trouble239.com to email us, Trouble in Paradise, which you're here on YouTube. Audio versions are available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Stitcher.
And probably other places that we don't realize yet.
Right.
We were told that we had to mention Podchaser on our next podcast. So everybody
yeah?
at Podchaser, make sure you tag Trouble in Paradise on Twitter because we are promoting this program and we want it to explode.
Sweet.
So,
All right.
in the meantime, how do we get a hold of you guys? Like, what's the best way to reach you fellas?
Well, I shut down my Twitter. You know that about 4
Yeah.
or 5 months ago. I'm done with Twitter and I shut
Mm-hmm.
it down completely.
There's a big Twitter exodus.
Lots of assholes on Twitter.
Well, you know what it is? I found I couldn't take Twitter, number one. It was just constant political shit every day, and it just lost its appeal to me. Plus, I had more followers on Twitter than I do on Instagram, but the engagement with the fans, for me personally, was minimal on Twitter. It seemed like anything I posted got lost in the big scheme of things. So I'm like, well, what's going on with Twitter? And then I post the same exact thing on Instagram, and it's 15, 20 times as many engagements.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm wasting my time. I hate it anyway. The only problem was that was the only place I was verified. So,
Right.
and Instagram, I've
Yeah.
6 times I've tried to get it.
I've enjoyed some of your pseudo names that have come up, including Richard Niles, which I like to refer to as Dick Niles, that had 0 followers and was following 8 accounts.
So this is people who are trying to be fake
steal,
Steve DiSchiavi.
They steal his pictures and they put them up.
And the name's
everything.
not even close. Like, what? You got to wonder, what the hell are people expecting
Yeah.
to get
people
out of it?
even on Facebook,
Facebook
I know
is a
I've had to-
constant.
I've had to mention, it's like, is this really you?
Instagram's
Because
the
they
worst,
don't.
though. I'm probably once a week that somebody's
cloning you.
Yeah, cloning me. And now they're putting up pictures of my girlfriend, and that's really pissing me off.
Yeah.
I mean, the guys are one thing. Now that's getting fucking personal, And these are
Right.
all, a lot of this is from overseas. A lot of this is from Nigeria.
Yeah.
And it's
But what do they get out of it? That's what
well,
I'm
they're trying to
what's
get
the
money.
angle?
Is what they're trying to do is get you to friend them, then they'll DM you, and they play make believe on me and say, I'm going through some things right now, and I don't want to tell the public, but you send me some money.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
that's the angle.
you'd think people would take a
So-
look and see, well, the name's spelled wrong.
Yeah.
He's got 6 followers.
Steve DeCaris.
DiSchiavi, yeah. I mean, all kinds of weird names.
That's like French or something. Like, come on, man. You can't.
DiSchiavi.
Make
Like
up a
so,
French
no,
name.
people don't look anymore.
So do you have this problem?
Instagram?
No, do you have this problem?
I am happy I don't have that problem. 'Cause that's drama.
But now that
You're gonna have it.
He's got a lot of followers.
because you're
Got
becoming
your-
a big celebrity now.
He's getting more fans than me.
I don't really do nothing. I sit around.
Everybody's a fan of Ray.
Hey, good-looking dude,
You're on
salmon
ice,
shirt.
bro.
Yeah,
Well-
he's on
Always get
Instagram.
well, they know that you're happily taken now. So
Yeah, that's
now they're like
yeah.
They're
Hey,
doubling down.
they're like, well, there's Ray. How you doing?
So, what is your Instagram handle? You guys both on Instagram or just you, Steve?
No, both of us. I'm at Steve DiSchiavi,
Okay.
and he's at Ray Marino 468. Right?
And that's Marino, Marino. Wasn't there like
So
an
was
old
that your
football
badge
player or
number?
something?
yeah, Dan Marino.
No, that's the year of my birth, April '68.
Oh, okay.
That's what I
So,
said. Where'd you come up with 468?
Yeah.
2468. What do we appreciate? Ray Marino.
There you go, dude. We got a soundbite for the intro now.
I know.
A new
We're
intro
using
coming
that.
soon. Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we're using that one.
All right, so make sure you follow the guys on Instagram,
Yes.
follow their YouTube, and we are going to
The
move on
Adventures of
to.
Ray and Steve.
Do you want to hit
Subscribe.
some True Factor bullcrap?
Absolutely. I
All
think
right.
it's time we get into this and find out who is the better friend.
Well, Jasmine, you remember the first rule of True Factor bullcrap,
It's
right?
always ladies first.
Always
So that's
ladies
Ray.
first.
So,
Your first.
Mr.
So, and-
Mister.
actually,
Wait a minute. Well, what does Steve say?
Mine says Mr. 2, jackass.
But mine says Mr. That's my pen.
Mister. You're the missus. You're the one wearing pink.
Shenanigans.
Hey,
God
Mr.
bless.
Salud.
Pink is nice. God bless.
Salute.
Cheers, salute.
So, with that being said, Steve, True Factor bullcrap.
Okay.
Ray received a lift from a military Black Hawk that flew him all around New York City, picking him up and dropping him off on the grass at Fort Hamilton in Brooklyn.
True.
That is a true fact.
That's a point for Steve.
Point for Steve.
Shit. You told that 20 fucking million times. Did you know I was in a Black Hawk helicopter? I was in one when I was in the service, you little bitch.
Right now?
Well, we're just in the first question. Don't worry.
All right.
So I got to ask, though, what was the occasion for the fly around, man? Like,
I have a good friend, military guy. He said, "You want to go ride on a Black Hawk?" I said, "Bullshit." And I lived in the area. I lived across the street from Fort Hamilton in Brooklyn.
yeah.
Just come there at 8 o'clock, This Black Hawk comes flying over the Verrazano Bridge, lands on the grass. I'm like, this guy ain't kidding.
So just random guy that you know.
Yeah,
hey,
good
man,
friend.
I'm
And
going
he
to bring
said-
my Black Hawk over.
And this was pre 9/11.
Yeah.
So we went up right past the towers. I had the camera. I got great pictures. The towers, the Statue of Liberty. We flew over, and the doors were open on the Black Hawk.
All right.
And they strapped us to the floor. There's no seats. The thing's doing bank turns over Yankee Stadium. I'm like, the George Washington.
Did
Bridge
you throw
was
up?
Crazy. No. I don't know why I didn't throw up. I didn't eat anything. It was early.
That would have got the best of me for sure. All right. Ray, true fact or bull crap? When Steve was 10 years old, his older brother took him to a Black Sabbath concert, and they sat in the 4th row.
True.
False. You want to tell him
You
why,
lied to
Steve?
me, man.
It's a Led Zeppelin concert.
Oh, that's a trick question.
No, it's not.
Nonsense.
No, that's not how this game works.
If you paid attention to detail like I do,
Well,
my brother was in Vietnam with a guy that worked there and got us in. I was in the 4th row. I was on his shoulders,
and now,
and it was Led Zeppelin. I remember telling you I was watching
what?
John Bonham.
I know. I knew that. But I thought
John
we went
Bonham.
to
Oh, yeah.
Black
Okay, so
Sabbath
that's the
concert.
drummer,
and
right?
see,
Yeah.
now I'm getting worried because he said he heard that story that like a million times, and
Anybody that'll listen, he'll tell a fuck. Ask him about the fucking LA Fitness thing. Or the Jack LaLanne fucking.
Lifetime member.
Don't ask him. That's
what, did you get the juicer?
no the Jack LaLanne gym membership.
Oh, okay.
Frugal Ray
Well,
here.
Grandfathered in Bally's, then LA
Ray,
Fitness.
try talking into the mic.
Sorry.
You're used to being real close to something like that, aren't you?
All right,
Nice.
Steve.
Yes, ma'am.
Ray said he bought a condo drunk while walking down the street one evening, putting the down payment on a credit card. However, he was sober. It was just buyer's remorse that he told people he was drunk.
I know the story. I think it's true. I'm pretty sure he said he was drunk. I didn't hear that at second part, but I'm going to say true.
That would be bullcrap.
Ooh.
He was drunk. It wasn't buyer's remorse. He did put it on a down payment.
So that's okay, but the one Black Sabbath was no good. Jerk off, right? That was okay. See, now I don't remember if you said it was buyer's remorse.
So
I know.
we're 1-1 still.
Yeah.
So we have a tie right now.
We do have a tie at this point, but we haven't finished the round.
Exactly.
And actually, Ray hasn't scored his point yet because I haven't given him the true fact.
That's
or
right.
bull crap.
I got one correct one. He's got no correct so far.
So we'll update the score at the end of the first round. Ray, true fact or bull crap? Steve slept nude in the Marine Corps in his barracks, and after complaints were made to the platoon sergeant, he was officially ordered to wear his skivvies to bed.
This is going to be a guess, but knowing him. I would say that's false.
It is false.
Wow. But I was thinking true. But I was
Well, part of
a
it's
guess.
true. I used to walk around the barracks naked. Like if I took a shower, I just walked around the entire barracks naked. So I'm proud of my manhood, so I just let it go flow. And back then I didn't have a belly, so. But yeah,
Well, you know what they call that a dicky do where I come from.
but they weren't too happy about me walking around with nothing on. But
Well, there you go. It's all locked up after 2 rounds. We've got
Right.
it's tied at 1-1.
it was almost truth.
All right. So, Steve,
Yes, ma'am.
Ray asked a great friend, Frankie C., to be his best man at his wedding, but Frankie said no because he had gone on a couple dates with his fiance.
Frankie would never say no to him. I'm going to say that's bullshit.
It is bullcrap.
Yeah. Frankie-
However, would you like to fill him
So
in?
that's I had that right.
It is
You got it
bullcrap.
right.
My very good friend, Frankie C., I asked him to be my best man in my wedding, but he was getting divorced, and he was broke. And I said, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Still love him. to
But
death.
it
So he wasn't dating your future wife then.
He was not.
No.
Okay.
That was a good question.
All right.
You didn't. No, I got that right. That it was bullshit.
Did you get it wrong?
He called bull
he
crap on
called
it.
bullcrap
You
on
got
it.
that right?
Yeah,
Oh, no,
douchebag.
no,
I'm up
listen
2.
again.
I'm up 2-1.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, coming up, let's see, Ray. True fact or bull crap? When doing the movie Pride and Glory, Steve was originally cast as a bad guy that had a kissing scene with a very sexy actress. After the audition and the kissing, they changed his role.
That's not true.
I believe that is true.
Really? That's
You must
not
be a terrible
true.
kisser.
That's not true.
No, that's not true.
I've seen the movie 1,000 times. It's
No,
Oh, is
Good
that a
movie.
not true?
no, that's not true.
That's a not true. Okay, so then you're right, Ray.
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
That must have got lost in the translation.
Yeah,
a little
no, definitely not true.
bit. Man,
I,
you guys are like keeping up with each other then.
Yeah.
That's a great movie, Pride and Glory.
Yeah.
Who was the actress that you kissed?
There was no actress. I didn't kiss any actress. They wouldn't put me in a kissing
Oh,
scene.
so
with
this
a kiss. Yeah.
This is total bullshit.
Yeah. Me in a kissing scene in a movie? Forget about it.
All right, Steve.
And I'm a terrific kisser, just for the record.
I don't know anything about that. Just to put it on record.
True fact or bullcrap? Ray appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show.
Yes, he did. About his eye.
I told you that story.
Bro, you don't fucking you don't miss a beat about any story in your fucking life.
Wait. Why were you on Oprah Winfrey?
He got a cornea transplant from some kid that passed away.
Yeah, I had my right eye cornea transplant, young boy, and it was a cop's son, and only son.
Wow.
And somehow the media got a hold of it back in '95, and I was on a couple of short shows, and Oprah picked up the segment. So I was on it, but I didn't appear sitting in the chair with Oprah.
But he was on the Oprah show.
It was like a 15-minute segment.
Like a
of the
cutaway video
show.
thing.
Video, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have to find that because I want to see what you looked like when you were a strapping young lad.
Just think about half the man he is now.
I think that's all of us.
So that's 3-2, my friend.
All right, Ray. This is to conclude the fourth round. True fact or bullcrap? Steve plays the drums, but was forced to play the clarinet in middle school. He was good enough to be a featured musician in a school band concert with a clarinet solo.
I think I was listening to him once, and I think that's true.
It's false. Steve DiSchiavi has never played the clarinet.
I played the trumpet in school.
That's a trick
Such a
question.
technicality.
How's that a
That
trick
he was-
question?
that is
But
just
I was
an
never in a
instrument.
play, and I was never in middle school. We didn't have middle school. We had junior high. That was grade school.
And it was a trumpet.
I played the but I was never in a play.
But I know it was an alternate instrument.
Yes, it
Does
wasn't.
not sound like the way it goes down.
This sounds
the
like the
sides.
adventures of Steve and Ray right here.
Alternate
Yeah.
instrument.
He hates when he loses, but in the meantime,
Are you
not
willing
hurt.
to at least grant a half a point?
no, not a fucking nothing.
Not
he
a
gets
fucking
Stugats.
chance.
You know Stugats? He gets nothing.
You still win.
With the Stugats, yeah.
I'm up
Either
4-2. Fuck 4-2.
No,
Fucko.
4-3.
4-2.
3 of 2.
According to the
4-2.
official scoreboard, it's if this guy's not going to negotiate
No,
on
no,
that half a
there's
point,
no-
and I have every sympathy for you on it.
No.
I appreciate
Because
that.
I criticize when we do this game, I criticize Jazmine the same way. I'm like, and first of all, that was a whole paragraph of potential facts, right?
Yeah, and you missed one fact, and then
whole thing's- yeah.
Didn't I get screwed before on a fact with him?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Was it the? Which
I didn't
one
get a
was it?
half a point for that from dickhead. No, you get
right.
0. Stugats,
You
nothing.
still win, even if you give me the
No,
extra
no.
point.
You if you win, you still
You
win. If
still
you
win.
lose, you still win.
All right.
All right, Steve, you're up.
Yes, ma'am.
You make me feel old when you say
Well,
that.
I'm
but
being.
Thank you.
I'm
for-
sorry.
yeah,
Yes,
thank you.
beautiful
You're-
lady. What can I do?
Such a gentleman. Ray was in the middle of a shootout in East New York, Brooklyn in the early 90s at around 2:30 a.m. driving home. It wasn't until the following day he realized his car was shot.
There's parts of that are true, but the other part is false. So I'm going to go with bullcrap.
That's a true fact.
100% full
Oh.
point. How you doing?
A goose egg for Steve. So what?
100% true.
40.
So what'd you do when you discovered the bullet damage on your car?
I said, holy shit. Thank God. This was like a Spike Lee movie. Kid
You
on
were
a
meaning to get
bicycle.
that collision bill paid for, but it wasn't quite bad enough yet. And then somebody hit
Was
it with a
this in
bullet.
a patrol, like a
No, it was in
take-home
my
patrol?
private car. I got some
Really?
red lead, some Bondo, and just covered the hole and called it a day. Yeah. I just got out of there.
This guy does irrigation, right? Okay. Do you ever use Bondo on a plumbing pipe? That shit works too, man.
Does it?
That's what I hear.
plumbing pipe.
Yeah.
He uses black tape for everything. He's good.
They call it black tape in the Northeast.
Yeah.
Electrical tape, right?
Electrical tape.
Silver. Black
There's-
tape's for electrical.
Jerk off. There's black tape and there's electrical tape. They're both black.
But I use the silver tape.
What's black tape? Like duct tape?
Yeah, but it's
Duct
black
tape's
tape.
silver.
Silver.
Yeah, but it's black.
What do you call pop? Like you drink a pop?
Soda. There's no such thing
that's
as
pop
pop.
is
okay.
beer.
You guys are definitely
Pop is
For a couple
beer?
pops.
Pops, yeah, gonna have a
After
pop.
Okay, yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah, but no,
Really?
there's
Yeah,
no
go
such
for a
thing
couple
as
pops.
pop in New York. It's soda.
It's sody pop.
There's no
Sody
sody
pop.
pop.
Soda.
I'll give you a fucking
Ray
smack.
Ray is such an olive branch. He's always trying to meet people in the middle
No,
and
it's
stuff.
not soda pop. No, it's just soda.
Well, in Michigan, we always called it pop, and half the people in Ohio called it pop too.
Well, my mother's from Pittsburgh. They all called it pop in Pittsburgh. It used to drive me insane when I go visit my
Great Lakes thing, I
grandmother.
think. I bet you they might even call it pop up in Buffalo too.
It's possible. It's pretty west, so.
But
yeah.
everybody in the Northeast, New York, Boston, even
Indiana,
DC.
we called it pop. But
No, it's definitely soda.
I was very confused when I moved to Pennsylvania and they called it soda. It was like soda has ice cream in it.
Yes.
That-
Soda has ice cream in it.
Yeah.
Or soda is what you drink when you're
No,
not
we call that
feeling
an
well.
egg cream.
You
Or
call
ice
it
cream soda.
Ice cream soda or an egg cream.
an egg cream?
Yeah.
Egg cream.
You don't know what egg cream is?
No.
Jeez.
Was it cream soda with
Cream
ice
soda, ice cream,
vanilla
and black and chocolate syrup. You
Yummy.
bet.
All right,
We call
Ray.
that black cow.
Yes, sir.
True fact or bullcrap? As a teenager, Steve was arrested for stealing coins from the parking meters. They also charged him with destruction of property before he was released into his father's custody.
Half true.
Is that a
You-
bullcrap?
you
You see the bullshit?
Bullcrap.
It is bullcrap.
I know that story.
But I don't remember the twist. What is it, Steve?
I was locked up in a stolen car. I got chased down by the cops. Caught a beating from the cops.
This is even better than the bullshit story.
Yeah, caught a beating from the cops. And the fucked up part about that whole story is I was minding my own business. Thank you. No, a friend of mine stole a Cadillac, and I was coming out of the bagel store on Bay 50th Street in Brooklyn. So he sees me, and he stops. Oh, let's go for a ride. And it was a fucking brand new Coupe de Ville. And I'll never forget, it was mint green, with a mint green, top. And we're going down 86th Street. Next thing you know, we bang a right. We're on Utrecht Avenue, and then the fucking anti-crime guys light up the car, the plainclothes guys. So we fucking hit the brakes, and we bail out. I go running into a fucking bar and hide under a jukebox. Not a jukebox, a pinball machine.
Man, if you can fit under a jukebox, you're doing pretty good, man.
Yeah, so they grabbed me. They threw me a beating. I was, 14, maybe 15 at the time. I think it was 14. And
So the blue cops beat you up when you were 14?
the plainclothes cops beat the balls off me. Yeah.
Undercover or whatever.
Yeah. So they bring me back to the station house. My father has to come down and pick me up. I caught a beating from my father that's so bad that they felt so bad for me, they just fucking let me go.
Wait, the guys that beat you up were in awe of how your dad beat you
Oh,
up?
my father tuned me. I went to
was-
school the next day. My eye was out to here.
I feel you with that story because I felt better in the back. Well, I was put in the front of the police car, and I remember. Long story, I won't get into it, but I remember seeing the shotgun in the front of the car and thinking, "Dear God, don't let my father see that, or I'm dead." And I
Yeah.
felt safer
yeah.
in the police car
Yeah, I was
than I
petrified.
did being released into
Yeah.
my father's custody.
And talk about irony. Years later, I'm
Wait till
working in
your dad sees
uniform.
this.
Yeah, I'm working in uniform, and I made a gun arrest, and I brought it up to the detective squad. 'Cause back then, they used to endorse the collars. And I went up to the detective squad, and there's a new detective sergeant up there, and he's one of the cops that locked me up. So I remember his name. His last name was Diana. And I says, you used to work in the 6-2 precinct, right? Anti-crime? He goes, yeah. I says, you locked me up one time. Was you one of those punk little guinea brats from the neighborhood over there? I'm like, yeah, that's me. I mean, I got caught that time. I did a lot of fucked up shit, but I mean,
that's New Yorkie, right? That's kind of like a fraternity. Like if you get arrested.
listen, you run from the cops, you're catching a beating. And if you get caught and you catch the beating, take it, because you know it. You don't make me fucking chase you.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah,
And back in those
you're
days...
making it worse at that point.
And back in those days, your parents came, picked you up, they gave you a beating. None of this shit blaming the cops for the problem. Your kid got arrested, you know.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why we got the shit going on we do today, because nobody gives their kids beatings anymore.
Well, yeah, that's a great point. But before we dive directly into the bucket of conspiracies, we got
So I'm ahead, just so you know, right?
Let's see. We got 3 points for Steve and 3 points for Ray going into the 6th round.
Try to cheat.
Yes.
That's 3 to 3.
All right.
I think you're all tied up.
I think I won't.
Into the 6th round, Steve.
Yes, ma'am. I won't
Ray
say that.
has only run out of gas once in his travels on the road, but lies and tells you he never has.
No, that's true. He did run out of gas once.
That's bullcrap. He has never run out
He's
of gas.
full of shit. That's bullcrap. He knows he ran out of gas once.
Let me ask you something. If you're
What a
the gas
liar.
station,
You can't
Okay,
lie when
wait,
you
wait,
play
wait,
this game.
Wait,
Technical
I want to
story.
hear his perspective.
The technical, factual story here is I rolled into the gas station and I was coming up to the pump and the car conked out.
He ran out of
But
gas.
I
razor's
wasn't- I didn't-
edge.
I wasn't stuck. I was at the pump.
No,
I
he
gassed
ran
up
out of
that
gas.
I
time.
take that as
Running out of gas.
I didn't run out of gas.
You
'cause I
got
was-
there, right?
I got to the
you
pump.
were at the
Did you have to push the car
no,
in?
No, I
That
rolled.
you didn't run out
and
of
that's
gas.
how close I was, and so I never ran out of gas on the road.
I'm gonna let
You ever
I'm
run
gonna
out of
let
gas?
them out there
Did you
Did you
decide.
ever run out of gas in your lawnmower? Because
I'm
I've done
with
that a
you.
few
Oh,
times.
I've always done.
Story. That's another story. No, I have- yeah, everybody runs out
Yeah,
of gas
always
in a
run.
lawnmower.
Yeah, it's bullshit when you don't have any more gas, right? You got to siphon some out of your car or something
Yeah,
like that.
Exactly, because there's no gas gauge on a lawnmower.
Oh, man.
Lying
Hey,
piece of
now
shit.
that's how to make some money right
That's,
there.
that's why I looked at the camera. I said,
All right, Ray. True factor bullcrap. Steve was thrown in the brig for 3 days while in Perth, Australia, for throwing a sailor overboard because the guy owed him money.
no, false.
True fact.
Absolute true
You never
fact.
told me that story?
Because I'm not a braggart like you are. What did I tell you?
A what?
A braggart.
Brag it?
Yeah, I get the guy. I had a scam going. 20
I'm
for
going to dissect
20
that.
for 30. 20 for 30. And if you paid me back twice on time, the following time was 20 for 25. So I had this thing going on for a while because these rednecks.
Why does this guy need so much damn money in Australia?
Well, these rednecks ran out of money. Don't forget, we're in the Philippines, and you can run out of money quick there. So, you know,
What
this
are they
guy's
spending
like,
their money on?
fuck you, DiSchiavi, I ain't paying you. And now my guinea, you know, this guy was like 6 foot and change, right? So he thought this guinea wasn't going to, you know. We were right at the top of the fucking coming off the boat. And I'm like, he's talking shit to me the whole way there. As soon as I got to the fucking edge, I'm like, here you go, motherfucker. I picked him up like a fucking wrestling move, and I fucking threw him right overboard.
Was the boat in port and stuff?
Yeah, it was in port. He dropped 30 feet, though.
Thank God it was in port, though.
Fucking MPs came. I mean, the shore patrol on boat came and fucking locked me up. So we won.
And he was a sailor, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. For
there you
3
go.
days, they put me in the brig because of
Further promulgating the
But that was
tradition of
our
Marines
liberty.
and
Was the
sailors.
3-day liberty? So I lost out on the liberty. So yeah, true story, fucko. So that's one
Same
extra
thing, 3 to 3.
No, it's 4-3 now.
So
It is 4-3 in favor of Ray. At this
No,
point.
I just got that right.
No.
We were tied up.
Oh, was that a Steve or a Ray? Who called bullcrap on that?
He did, and he
Ray-
got it wrong.
yeah, he got it wrong.
Oh, I'm
think
sorry.
you're
I
right.
scored it
no,
wrong.
so it's still 3-3
It's 3-3.
in points, but you got
Yeah.
that wrong. motherfucker.
Man,
So-
we need a real scorekeeper. Like, we need Jason in a hurry.
So we're on our last true factor
This is
bullcrap
it.
here. This is
And
the
we're all
final-
tied
It's
up
for the
at 4.
This
championship.
is for the Trouble in Paradise trophy.
How are we going to break the tie if this ends up in a tie? Are we going to flip a coin or what?
Well,
Well, we could be co-champs. It's okay with us.
It's possible, although we have a really good second place prize.
I don't. Well, if it's bourbon, I'll take second place.
okay. So on the lines of violence, Steve.
Yes, ma'am. I keep saying that. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Ray boxed on a Manhattan sidewalk with Muhammad Ali.
Wait, let me get this straight.
This is a trick question because he's a cockhead. This is a trick question.
Does this look like a guy that boxed with Muhammad Ali?
No, trust me. This prick has met anybody and everybody.
Is it another dude named Muhammad Ali?
No, I'm going to say that's a true fact.
That is a true fact.
Oh, score one for Steve.
So I'm up.
I want to.
So if you lose the next one, you lose. If you win, then we're tied.
And I just want a quick synopsis of how that came about.
Yeah. How does a guy box with
How do
Muhammad
you-
Ali and
first
then
of all,
walk
how
afterwards?
How do you bump into? You're like, oh yeah, Muhammad Ali. Let's go around here.
I was standing in front of Radio City Music Hall in uniform for like a show, Night of 100 Stars. It was on years ago. And I see Muhammad Ali come walking up the street. He has Alzheimer's. He had Alzheimer's.
Yeah, he's bad.
And he's coming closer and he starts doing this. So I go out into the middle of the sidewalk. I'm like, Champ, what's up? And we go around. We made a circle. Everybody's like, what are you guys doing? I said, that's the Champ. That's what I did.
Hey, but if he landed one
What a
on
nice
you,
guy.
even with Alzheimer's, I bet he can still lay a
Oh,
punch.
yeah. Ray would have been
But
there.
it was, I was sad, but it was nice. It was cool. But, yeah.
Did you get a selfie?
Nah, there's no
No,
phones.
this
This was back in
way back.
93. It was back
Oh, he already
years
had
ago.
Alzheimer's.
Did you give him your beeper number?
You know what? I had that PageNet thing, yeah.
PageNet, remember PageNet?
PageNet.
PageNet.
$95 a month or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the Get-
That's
where
how
you-
my
where
mom
you
told me
ran
to come home the last 2 years I was in high school.
Where you ran to the payphone.
Know how my mother said, come
For
home?
the-
She screamed
for-
out the window.
For millennials, they don't even know what a payphone is.
When they raised
No.
that fucking shit from 25 cents to 35 cents on the
Oh.
payphone, that was game over. I was like, Mom, I couldn't call you. I don't
didn't
have any
a
dimes.
dime.
All right, Ray, here we go.
I'm up. Oh, fucking-
Steve has the lead unless you get this round, in which case it's a tie. True fact or bullcrap? Steve sold drugs outside his high school after he was expelled.
I guess we could talk about this now. I'd say yes.
It is a true fact.
It is a true
You
fact.
got one. You guys are all knotted up. So what kind of drugs were you selling?
Well,
and
the funny
what's the
part-
statute of limitations on that shit?
Well, listen, the thing was, I was working at a drugstore part-time doing deliveries, so I'd steal Tuinol, Seconol, Valium, Tauin, Librium. I'd steal all these pills, and I put them in
sounds like
little
what my
baggies.
mom was doing.
And I had a what do you call a textbook, and I cut the inside of the textbook out, so when you opened it, it was like a pocket. And I had compartments for each pills. So I was selling them for $5 a pop. I bought my first new car when I was 16. 75 Cutlass Supreme with the drug money.
Well,
And the cop that had the Stanky was his name. He was from, at that time, it was the 60 precinct where my high school was, Lafayette High School.
How does a cop get a name like that?
this is why
That was his name, Stanky.
Like
that was
legit
his, yeah,
name?
his last name was Stanky, Stankey, Stanky. He was a douchebag, too. He gave me a summons when I got that car for, the car was running in a parking spot, and I got out of the car to talk to a friend of mine with the door open, and he gave me a summons for an unattended car that was running, whatever the fuck that is. Leaving a car unattended that's running. It's an actual
that
summons.
sounds pretty New Yorky, actually.
Yeah, that's an actual summons. And he hated Italian kids. And meanwhile, he's working in a high school.
Stanky?
Yeah.
What kind of nationality
He was
is
Irish.
Stanky?
No, he's Irish as the day was long.
So, okay, an Irish cop in New York. That's
Well, in a
basically-
Brooklyn neighborhood that was all Italian and Irish, but mostly Italian that went to that school.
So he was picking on people.
Yeah, he picked on me a lot. He was a real prick, And that's why when I became a cop, I never wanted to be the guys I interacted with when I never wanted to be that guy. And I never was, I was tough on people, but not for no reason, So,
you left out my favorite
my grandmother?
true fact.
Wait a minute. Are we going to do a tiebreaker?
Well, no.
Because I can
Oh, yeah,
pull
you
that
got that
shit
right.
up.
Did you get that right? Yes.
Yeah, so we're
Does that mean
tied.
I'm winning?
You are
No, we're
tied
tied.
at 5 points apiece.
We're tied.
No, I thought it was 4-4.
Dickhead, we're tied.
We did 7 rounds. You both had, well, I guess it's 4-4. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. You both had 3 wrongs and 4 rights. So, I mean, you know each other pretty well, but I guess a little bit better than most people know each other, right? I certainly know you both a lot better by now.
Well, so are we doing it?
How are we going to
They
structure
could-
this? Because one of the gentlemen only sent 7, and the other one sent 9.
No, I sent you 9.
We got more because you left out my favorite one that
Well,
I'm
then you're gonna-
dying
His?
to hear the story
Well, then you're going to
about.
have to run the final tie-breaking round. Do you have 2 questions?
Um,
If you do, we can cut loose.
We'll call it the tie.
We'll save it for next time.
But I want to hear the story that Steve sent about taking pictures.
The DOA.
And and slipping.
Not my finest hour. Let's put it that way.
And slipping on the blood and falling into the body.
Okay, all right.
I'm
going to need this from the top. What
I am
happened?
shocked. I was like, that you did not pick that one to put in there. True fact.
What is the DOA? Like, I don't even know what that acronym means.
Dead on arrival.
Dead body.
Oh,
so,
that. Okay.
Yeah, so when you're a detective, you have to respond to every
signal
dead body, whether it's a natural cause, any as long as the body's dead, you have to respond if you're a detective working in the
Remember a situation like, are you there when the coroner shows up at 4 a.m. and he's fucking grumpy because he had to get up in the middle of the night?
Well, if you're in uniform, usually, but yeah, that never happens. The coroner doesn't show up. It's MLIs come out or the morgue people just come up. When we were working cases like homicides, you had to go to the morgue for the autopsy.
Okay.
The next day. Matter of fact, I had 5 homicides in one night. I had fucking 5 bodies lined up. I had to sit through fucking every autopsy. It was a pain in the ass.
That sounds like Chicago last weekend.
But, you had a response. So we had a DOA that was dead for about 10 days, and this guy was fucking putrid. He was blown up.
Oh, yeah.
He'd been,
gross. And it was summertime. It was in the 10th precinct, and I'm with one of the guys from the 10th, and you got to take Polaroids because you catch the case regardless because you never know if it's a homicide or not, or whatever it could be, unknown circumstances. So there was, I don't want to get too gross, but when they pop after a while.
Right.
And all that shit comes, I mean, they come out and all that shit's on the floor. So I'm taking a photo. And as I take the photo, I'm walking away past the body and I'm going fanning. This is back when we had Polaroids.
Right.
I'm fanning the Polaroids and I slip with it because I had a brand new pair of shoes on. I slip on the fucking bile that's on the floor and boom, right back into him, and his leg explodes all over my back.
Look at Ray. Look at Ray's face.
Well, because he knows.
I can smell it right now.
I could, just the smell alone.
The smell. You bring it home.
But let me tell you something. It was a new shoes, and the suit wasn't that old. I had to throw the suit out. I threw the shoes out.
$550 suit?
I had to have a guy from the fucking station house pick up, go to my locker, get me a pair.
You mean they're not going to dry clean that shit at that point?
I wouldn't even dry
No
clean it.
way.
I threw it all out.
When I got my shoes shit on, they went right in the trash.
And that's a true story.
I was going to say that. I get a point for that.
Yeah, no, you weren't going to. No, you can't say it now. No.
Did he call it true though? Because I saw him nodding the whole time.
No, fuck him. No, yeah.
Point. How you doing?
Yeah. Cat's out of the bag.
How you doing?
Yeah, but that wasn't one of my finer moments as a detective.
What's that suit, Steve?
Yeah, no, I have.
That was a $400 suit.
So, I get $550.
I get you a nice $550 suit. That's advanced.
You know what they call a $500 suit in Michigan?
What?
A $300 suit.
Me and Ray were pretty big, I would say movie buffs, but certain movies. And we know the lines from all these movies. Now, all the guys we hang out with, we're the only 2 retards that actually know all this shit. I mean, only a moron would remember this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Charlie knows.
Charlie knows a couple of the stuff, but most of the guys
Leave
are
the
like...
gun, take the cannoli.
All the time.
Yeah.
I said that last night.
That's right.
Who?
The
What?
Godfather. Come on. That's
Yeah,
quick.
well,
That's
okay.
GF. That's
Backing
quick.
out.
That's easy. That's ground balls for us.
Yeah, and I add to that.
And then we do
What's the
advanced
while you're
stuff.
backing out?
Advanced stuff.
We do advanced.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes he'll throw a line out and he'll go advanced and I'll get it. And everybody else will be standing around like, what the fuck are you two talking about? So that's our little, every day. It's nonstop. I mean, nonstop. I'll even hit him with music from a movie. What song is this movie from?
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
So, Adventures of Steve and Ray on YouTube, everybody. Subscribe for sure. Before we move on to our next segment, which is called Only in Florida, I want to run a couple things by you. First of all, our friend TJ Wall is going to be on the Author Stories podcast with Hank Garner, recording next week. He's actually my little brother. He wrote this story right here, Failsafe. He's going to be talking to Hank Garner, which has a podcast that you can hit on Spotify and everything like that. And then our next episode of Trouble in Paradise is going to feature somebody that we have a tremendous amount of respect for, and that's a gentleman by the name of Martin Geddes, who is one of the most brilliant people that Jazmine and I know. I'm pretty excited about having Martin on the show, aren't you?
I can't wait to have him on. He's just incredible.
Yeah, he has a way of wording things. He posts this shit on Twitter that just cuts right through you.
Yeah, and a huge heart for everything that's going on in humanity in general. And he just, I love the way he writes. He's very eloquent, and it's going to be a really great interview with him.
For sure. Next show, Martin Geddes. He'll be live streaming with us from London. So we'll be, I think, 5 or 6 hours apart.
Yep. So we'll be at 2 p.m. and then it'll be 7 p.m. in the UK then. Yep.
So that's what's coming up. And then without any further ado, I think it's time to move on to Only in Florida. And Jazmine, for the benefit of the people who aren't familiar with our show, why don't you tell them what Only in Florida is all about?
Only in Florida are Florida man stories that are typical dumb criminals that we hear in the news. And, of course, it's always pegged down to here in Florida.
So the way this was written, and I'm going to be interested in your opinions on this, guys, because it's a law enforcement related issue. It's basically a guy acting like a fucking asshole on camera, which I love when we can get video of this stuff, but this happened last week in Tampa. According to WPEC, deputies in Central Florida are looking for a man who had a temper tantrum at a Wendy's drive-thru window, and it was all caught on camera. According to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, a car full of people became belligerent after they placed their order at a Wendy's. One man, identified as Kelvin Barnes, 26, got out of the car and leaned through the drive-thru window. And I want to show you what happened next. So
Okay, wait. You said a man leaned through the drive-thru window?
Yeah, look what he's wearing.
That's Kelvin?
That's Kelvin.
Nice.
All right, let's see what Kelvin's doing here. Here's the video. So, I mean, they're trying to figure something out in the car. And here comes Kelvin.
Oh, okay.
Kelvin's going,
oh.
Yeah, how you
Oh.
There you go.
Nice.
doing? Kelvin's,
he got the crew out in a hurry.
Man. Oh, look, of course. Somebody had their phone out.
That was like every employee at the Wendy's.
This had to be one of those
Yeah.
24-hour places because shit like this only happens after
I
people are
almost wanna-
drinking.
nice outfits.
What's with the other dude's got his shirt completely off?
He liked that shirt.
Well,
he probably didn't want it to get ripped in case they got into
It
any
is pretty
kind of a
hot here in
scuffle.
Southwest Florida these days.
It is.
And
it
then
is hot.
finally his buddy convinced him to take off, which is great. But my favorite thing about this video is if you see the dude, like the manager, like the guy that comes at the window from the inside, watch the weapon he uses. I'm going to run this back.
I was curious as to what that was, but that's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, get a peek at it. I'm going to run this back one more time.
We didn't get our nuggets.
Somebody's pissed.
They're all
Yeah, I mean, he's a little bit effeminate, right? Like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
I don't think his
my
intention was...
Frosty is melted.
He didn't realize there was money coming out.
Oh,
shot.
oh.
Yeah.
Boom!
What was that?
Strap. It's a strap.
Yeah, look, he took his belt off. You can see his undershirts hanging out. I mean,
That's great.
is that how you know that you've really fucked up in life? Is when a dude that is working at Wendy's comes at you with his belt?
Well, listen. It's a model citizen, right? Dressed like Raggedy Ann in a fucking pair of sneakers jumping through a window at Wendy's at, what, probably 2 o'clock in the morning.
For something so minuscule and stupid.
Yeah.
Well, who even knows what they were pissed about?
Well, the jerk-off didn't even realize that the register came out and the money went on the floor. Then he looked down and realized, oh, shit, I got to score.
Oh, look at this.
It says he's seen on camera grabbing things, throwing them to the floor, spilling a beverage, and trying to grab the cash drawer. Employees rush over to shut the window. Barnes gets back into the car.
Can you imagine them working there, trying to get through college or whatever the fuck,
I wouldn't want to have to deal with this.
and dealing with this asshole?
Yeah.
My son worked in Burger King like for the last 3 years. Nonsense.
His
every
middle
day.
son. He's a good,
My little
real
guy.
good.
Has he ever beaten a guest with his belt?
He's never been, thank God, beaten. This never happened.
Yeah.
But he puts up with minuscule nonsense. These fast food workers, they put up with a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I know, like, even when my shit's wrong, I'm kind of a dick. I don't jump out of my car and try to steal the cash drawer, but
No, it's overreacting. I mean,
but
imagine
everybody's in a hurry, too.
You ever go to White Castle at 5 in the morning?
I wish there was a White Castle down here.
There's always craziness in White
Yeah.
Castle at 4 or 5 in the morning. These poor people working in there. God bless them. With the
Yeah.
time they gotta
Those
pay.
are like some of my favorite places to actually sit and
People watch.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Go to a
Yeah.
diner after midnight. Or in
Absolutely.
New York City, any of the boroughs, a diner at what, 5 a.m.?
Oh, yeah. After the club.
It's Calamity Jane time. No offense, but it's Calamity Jane time. It is. It's just, the Martians come out. It's crazy. The
freaks come out at
Yeah,
night.
the freaks come out at night.
So then we've got this other dude. This fella, how are you guys coping with the social distancing thing? I'm going to set the table for this one.
Oh, you mean the scamdemic we're going through? That? I'm not going to get into
the
it. but-
Anti-social distancing.
Yeah, I'm an anti-social distancing guy. What's the heart? Is that a heart?
Did you just say scamdemic?
I did.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm going.
I never did this, but I'm going to do it.
I am just
Ray's
so,
sign language is something
listen,
else.
I am so fed up with this. And the reason I get upset about this whole mess is I have friends of mine that own businesses that are basically almost bankrupt. And this is where my aggravation about the whole pandemic gets me crazy. Because to me, it's a scam that how come this place can stay open, but this place can't?
Fucking politicians got to pick and choose who was going to make a living.
Explain
and
to
who
me,
wasn't.
okay, so you're telling me I can make a living, but you can't? This is bullshit.
Yeah. And what's your other option? Stay home? I mean, that's what they're telling you to do? How are you supposed to make a living staying at home?
You don't. And how do you support your family? It's just utter bullshit, and it drives me insane just thinking about it. I don't like to get into politics. It's the reason I got off of Twitter.
Right.
But when it comes to this, I just left California. There's people walking around in the middle of the street by themselves in beautiful parks wearing a fucking mask.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, get over yourself. If you're that frightened about being out and catching something, stay the fuck home.
Thank you.
Stay the fuck home. Quarantine for the rest of your fucking life.
Well, quarantine is for sick people. And sick people should be at home.
I get tested weekly for the show, right? I'm tested weekly. And my test just came back today, right? I told you. It might came back negative.
Oh, don't watch our episode before last, man. It's all about false positives. And
Well, yeah, but, ours is an independent lab, thank God. It's not state-run where you got to worry
Right.
about the state trying to fudge numbers. And
Yeah.
we know all about how they fudge numbers. But the police department was famous for that, trying to say that the crime rate wasn't as bad as it was by turning a robbery into a petty larceny into a misdemeanor.
Wow.
I like
the
how
numbers
he
game.
says pet it instead of petty. That's good, man.
Yeah.
Well, and the rapid test that they do,
Yeah, we don't do the rapid test, but we do it. We
Yeah.
do the whole. I got a up the nose thing.
the rapid test initially, those results would come back positive, and it was actually there's at least 15 things that one of those PCR tests is actually testing you for, which is
Like the common cold.
rhinovirus,
And that'll come back as a positive result.
parainfluenza, RSV, and so some of those
Because they have a shared DNA
positives,
characteristic, right?
Yeah, the RNA that was in there. So unless they actually said that it was SARS-CoV-2
Right.
positive,
Well, they're still coding them all as positive. That's
Right, coronavirus has been around for years,
right? This
but
is
it's the
nothing.
COVID-19 that needs to be singled out. But they're not doing that, and it's just
Right.
So speaking of
and
that,
retests also, they're counting as a new positive.
yes.
So for an employee to return to work,
In other words, if you're tested 3 days in a row and you're sick 3 days in a row,
they're
that's
counting
3
it as
separate
a new
cases.
positive.
watch
So
November
they're
3rd. Nobody be
driving
wearing
the
masks
numbers
after
up
the
that way.
election.
That's what I've been thinking too.
I personally loved it whenever you put your mask on in the car, like weird science. It reminded me of like the bra on the head, and yeah,
It drives me
It's like-
insane. I mean, in California, if you go up to an outdoor restaurant, because they can't eat inside in California, you have only outdoor eating. So when you walk up, you're standing on a line where a parking space is, right? There's a woman at a counter that's outside, and she tells me, "I'm sorry, sir, you need to have your mask before I can seat you." So me
And you're
being,
already outside, though.
me being from Brooklyn and being Italian and having common fucking sense, I'm like, lady, we're outdoors, so I
Right.
can't seat you. So now I pull a mask out of my pocket. She walks me literally from here to the tripod. There's a fucking table 5 feet away. She sits me down. She says, now you can take off your fucking mask.
Thank you.
And you're going to tell me this makes sense to anybody out there?
It doesn't
It
make sense to
doesn't,
most
no.
people, but there's this incredibly
Sheeple.
vocal...
Sheeple have the problem.
Yes.
It's the sheeple out
for
here.
sure.
It's the sheeple that have the problem.
Do you
with,
think this guy looks like
we
a
could
sheeple?
do such an entire episode on this. I know it.
I know. I hate to
Yeah.
get my,
Yeah.
but my Guinea gets up. My Italian gets up, and I'm just like,
Well, we don't need your blood pressure getting up. So
no, my blood pressure's good. It's just I get aggravated when I think about.
what do you think
Yeah.
about this dude's blood pressure? Because he's sweating a little bit.
Yeah, he looks like he doesn't give a fuck. Well, you know what that look is?
Wait,
They got me this time.
Yeah, they sure did. That's exactly. You've seen a booking photo or two. This
but-
guy actually was arrested for firing a gun inside the lobby of a Miami Beach hotel in response to a family flouting social distancing norms. Douglas Marks is accused of squeezing off the rounds. This is NY Poe, by the way. At the Crystal Beach Suites in Monday night, according to the Miami Herald. He was pissed because, quote, you all aren't social distancing, according to the arrest report obtained by the paper. The mother, Veronica Pena, and her son ignored Marks and remained in place, even though the guy was firing off his pistol. Marks then allegedly said, let me take care of them. I have 2 people not following directions, before firing several shots. It's unclear who Marks was speaking to. Nobody was injured in the shooting, which Marks admitted to, but claiming to fire, quote, 4 warning shots because he was being followed by somebody, the paper reported. So he was not very quick on his feet.
So we just call him a Karen. He's just a Karen with a gun, basically.
big time Karen. Yes.
So he's a Karen with a gun. Imagine if a guy like that showed up and tried to tell us the social distance, like when we were together. I'd love to see the outcome of that one because we shoot back. There's a difference.
So speaking of Karens, we actually have the opposite of this kind of Karenship.
yeah.
And that leads us into our next segment.
Okay, Karen.
Okay, Karen.
Oh, okay, Karen.
So in OK Karen, we basically pick apart the Karen-ness of people out there in the general public. And we came across a Karen recently. Did you want to give us the setup for this one,
Yes.
Jasmine?
We have zombie Karen now,
Zombie Karen.
who repeatedly rams into a bar door and licks the glass pane after getting kicked out. Another day, another Karen gone viral after acting batshit crazy over a false sense of entitlement. However, this particular Karen might take the crown for the most hilarious and fanatical of them all, thanks to all the particularly unbelievable antics she, a grown-ass woman, pulled in public. And if you've been keeping up with the Karens of 2020, you'd know that says quite a bit about her, since we've seen Karens in all shapes and forms in the recent weeks, from temper tantrum Costco Karen to nosy permit Karen to fake news Karen. As angry...
I love it how they try to spin it, though, that it's
Well, she's
only
a
the
window
people on
licker,
the-
yeah.
Yeah.
That's wait till
She's
you
a window
see it.
lick.
As angry,
seen this one?
entitled,
No,
and
but-
racist as they all were, it's a Karen from Louisiana that's now leading the Karen of them all race. She was introduced to the world by Twitter, who recently caught her on camera outside of what is believed to be the Mahoney's bar in Louisiana. The video posted by the user shows the woman licking the bar window and repeatedly trying to ram herself through the door while screaming racist slurs at the man filming her antics.
And she's saying racist slurs, too?
Since popping up online on July 2nd, she gained infamy as Zombie Karen, thanks to other patrons of the bar comparing her actions to the I Am Legend
So this
movie.
happened earlier in the whole pandemic, right? She may not have been informed yet as to what was going on then, right? This might have been new to her.
This post, I believe, was within 3 weeks. The last
Okay,
3
so
weeks.
it's pretty recently. So she ought to know better. I'm going to go ahead and roll tape, and let's.
And it was because
They wouldn't let her
they
in
wouldn't
without
let
her mask.
in the bar without her mask on.
So this is the opposite.
A bar
kind of-
where you can drink?
a bar where you can drink.
Yep. Here it is.
Yeah.
Who missed Sunday dinner? Who missed? Oh shit! Who missed Sunday dinner? Oh Lord!
We say, who missed Sunday dinner?
This fucking Iron Legend. That bitch.
Window liquor.
Doing the same shit. She's doing the same shit. What the fuck? What?
This is very funny.
I'm
but you still need to go.
dying. Hello? You got a Rona?
Oh, that's great.
Yo, mom, baby girl. Who the fuck is baby girl?
Oh, this is fucking great.
Hello? Hello? Anyways.
What are you doing?
I don't think her mask, not having a mask, had anything to do with this.
Might be the one. Might be the one.
Tell you what, though, she goes through that window, she breaks the glass, she could have killed herself.
Yeah. Well, yeah. She would have hit the
There was,
bar. Hit the
that had
floor.
nothing to do with wearing a mask. They saw her and they were like, get the fuck out.
Let's just say it's the mask.
Yeah,
right?
that's tell you have to have a mask.
We're just going to say
And you said that happened where? Louisiana?
at Mahoney's Bar in Louisiana.
That's great.
Okay. Well, wherever. What was the name of the city? Like it's some weird place. We don't remember the name of the city, but Mahoney's. So if you really want to do some people watching,
Houma, however you would pronounce that.
we'll have to track them down and tag them.
Houma.
Yeah.
Homa?
Houma, Louisiana.
And I love Louisiana. There's great people who live there. It's a party town. It's everywhere you go, everybody's,
Well, I think that's a place you should check out in your travels.
Yeah, I just, every time you get thinking about this pandemic thing like this, got to wear a mask into a bar. And, but they use that as an excuse, obviously.
Oh,
Yeah.
We had the stop sign thrown up at
At an
us
ice cream parlor.
to try to go and get ice cream last month.
And it was like these
And
15-year-olds were like, "Excuse me."
You can't come in here without. And I was like, "How? We live in fucking Florida.
I know.
How do you eat an ice cream cone? Like,
With a mask on.
you have to lick it before you even pay for it, or it's going to
gonna drip all over the place,
I
yeah.
know. So it was like, we ended up at Ruth's
You know what?
Chris getting dessert.
People are like,
because-
you're not taking it serious. My aunt died from COVID, right? But she was 87 years old. She was in an old age home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Part of that group of people that are susceptible to it, right?
Right.
I'm not going to walk
There's-
around in
there's
fear.
Right. There's no denying that there is a virus.
Yeah.
There's absolutely a virus. However,
There's two
we
viruses.
We can't live like that.
I'm not living like this for the rest of my life where I got to
These
walk
are
around
guidelines.
with a friggin' mask.
They're not laws.
No.
They're not really rules.
Yeah, go out to California. They think it's a
Guidelines,
law.
CDC guidelines.
Well,
So everybody's acting like it's a
and
law.
they take, the
Karen
abuse-
approach.
Yeah, they throw the executive order mandate down, and it's just like,
Which the second that's determined as an unconstitutional or otherwise law-violating order, it's going to just be thrown out, which it's coming. It's probably November 4th is when all those
Yeah,
lawsuits
I
are
guarantee
coming.
November 4th we're not going to have to wear masks. You're not going to. Guess what? The pandemic wasn't as bad as we said it was going to be. They predicted what?
Yeah.
50 million people dead or whatever the number was by
A
now.
ton.
By now we're supposed to have half the population supposed to be dead right now. What's going on?
We're all still alive. And
Sweden and Japan did nothing. Nothing.
Everybody
they didn't wear
on the live
masks. They didn't
chat's
shut
still alive.
nothing down.
You
Right?
guys still alive on the live chat? I think everybody out there is still alive, too. We've got a bunch of visitors with us tonight. So hello to everybody that's following along, and thanks for hanging in there with us. We got one more story that we want to run by the guys, and that has to do with this fella right here. Another interesting red-faced mugshot. Except this guy has a completely different story, and it's kind of touching.
Uh-oh.
It says, homeless Florida man living in luxury suite at soccer stadium.
Wait, what?
That's great.
This comes from Tampa, St. Petersburg, Florida, WFLA. It says, for nearly 2 weeks, 39-year-old Daniel Albert Naya
39. He looks 60.
called Al Lang Stadium in downtown St. Petersburg his home. He's a homeless man who somehow made his way into the empty stadium and lived in a luxury suite. And this is the home of the, what do they call it? The Rowdies, the soccer team. It's like a minor league team. Yolanda Fernandez says a cleaning crew finally put the brakes on his luxurious lifestyle. A cleaning crew went into one of these suites that no one had gone into for some time due to COVID-19 and noticed there were blankets and shaving cream and a razor. Clearly, it appeared somebody had been living there. I mean, I'm
Come on, not for nothing. Does that guy look homeless to you?
Well,
he had been freshly shaven and been living in a luxury suite, so no.
Yeah,
he
so,
doesn't.
If I had been
I mean,
living in
but
a
wait a minute.
luxury
Look at his
suite-
haircut. I don't know too many homeless guys that get haircuts on a weekly basis.
It's true. Although that
How
could be
many-
like 6 weeks out from a buzz cut,
Yeah,
too.
it could be.
How long was he?
It's only 2 weeks, they said, he had been
Oh.
squatting. Yeah.
See, and if he could have only made it to 30 days, then they would have had to have served him with that eviction
Well, 2 weeks.
notice.
Was he quarantining? Did he use that excuse?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's
I mean,
take
that would
a
have been
look.
my excuse.
It says police arrested Naya on Sunday night shortly before 10 p.m. He's facing burglary and resisting arrest without violence. Deputies are holding him at a county jail on a 5150 bond.
Was that an album by Van Halen?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that was also like a code for like a crazy man or something, like a
No,
police code.
we call them EDPs in New York.
Yes.
Like somebody you need to...
Emotionally disturbed person.
I see.
5150 is a Florida term, I guess, there.
Yeah.
State.
We called
Oh,
it,
yeah.
in New York, it was a 1054 EDP, which was 1054 was an aided case.
Are you a Van Halen fan?
For me, huge Van Halen.
Okay.
The old Van Halen, Dive It Down, those albums.
Oh, like, so you're not a Van Hagar fan?
I like Sammy, but not really. I'm to me, 79 to 83 was my Van Halen days.
Yeah, that big kind of like macho rock.
Yeah,
kind of
but it
stuff.
was rock and roll, not
Yeah.
that.
They got all progressive and serious. And,
Yeah, which is okay. It happened with Rush, and that's why I stopped listening to Rush, and then they finally came back.
Oh my!
They got heavy
gosh.
again towards the
Yeah,
end.
thank
Yeah.
God. With Vapor Trails and stuff like that.
Well, you're thinking about the
used
Rush
the
albums
artwork.
in the mid '80s.
Yeah, with the synthetic bullshit they were doing, with the Neil Peart's drums being all. Oh, please! I get agitated just thinking about it.
So he just brought up Rush in mid-show.
I was gonna say, I
expressed
feel a
eloquently
romance starting
his
already.
preference for one Rush era over another. He actually
And,
knows
yeah.
that Vapor Trails, the most poorly produced Rush album of all time, is a heavy album.
It's very heavy, yeah.
Although difficult to listen to, at least before it was remastered. And he pronounced Neil Peart's last name correctly.
And for those that don't, they should bite me. Because I love it when they used to have him on a show. God rest his soul. But I love it when they used to have him on a show and talk all great about him and then say his fucking name wrong. I'm like, you dickhead, do some research.
All
Learn
day
how to
long.
say his friggin' name right.
I did it for my first 10 years listening to Rush. Because
Well,
on
I
the radio.
did too because nobody knew. I mean, back in those days, there was no social media to tell you, or there was no interviews on YouTube that you can look at and listen to. So,
Ray, what's your favorite band?
oh, listen, don't even talk
I'm a
about
middle of the
music.
road guy.
He's a,
I saw Rush a few years ago.
Oh.
My son in Alpharetta, Georgia.
No
I
kidding.
saw Van Halen in Midtown Music Festival in Atlanta. That was about 5-6 years ago, and it was the original band.
Oh, that was the one where they came back around with David Lee
David Lee
Roth.
Roth.
Yeah, I heard that was pretty cool. Yeah.
and that's when Wolfgang was playing bass, though.
Music Festival.
Wolfgang's he's a good
He's a great
musician.
bass player, yeah.
I miss Michael Anthony though. His style because he sang.
And
Michael
he's a
Anthony
great
sang.
singer. Yeah, that was the other thing with Michael Anthony. But,
Jasmine's like,
we could talk music all day long. I'm a real music buff, so I apologize.
I-
I don't want to ruin the radio show. I apologize.
Well, no, before you came over, the set still has a busted. You haven't fixed the bass, have you?
what? My bass guitar?
No.
My kick drum?
Yeah.
My kick drum has a busted head. I've got a 22 incher that's busted right now. because my son came over and played the drums and fucked my bass drum up, and now he hasn't
was
replaced
like-
my bass
That's what
drum.
they
Because I
do.
was like envisioning like this grand like jam session going down like after this was over.
Well,
Where
Jake plays the kick drum like he drives his car, man. It's all the way to the floor every time.
I played the drums for his kids when they came over the house one day. They're sitting there.
A good mini concert.
Yeah, it was like I put a little mini concert on for them.
We're gonna have to do a drum video sometime.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun.
You know, I'm very shy, so when it comes to playing drums, that's like my zen place.
right.
And fuck you.
Steve DiSchiavi is shy, ladies and gentlemen.
When it comes to certain things, I'm pretty shy, but
I get that.
yeah, you know, that's my when I play my drums, it's just my go-to zen.
Yeah.
You know, I'll spend 2 hours in there and just, you know, I'll drip. I mean, I walk out of there like Lars Ulrich and just, I'm dripping.
Wow, and you say Lars's name correctly too.
Shut up.
Let's start a
Say
podcast about pronouncing people's names fucking right.
Well, listen, my name has been butchered my entire life, so that's a pet peeve with me. Is like I don't know what the problem is with people in Florida or in the South in general, but you can't spell Stephen with a PH and pronounce it Stephen.
Stefan.
Stephen
Assholes
King.
like him will go Stefan, and I lose my shit. Like if I'm in a doctor's office and they're like Stefan, I'm like, you looking for Stephen? Excuse me. What's the last name? Yeah, that's me. It's Stephen. And then they kind of look at me like, oh, come this way. I'm like, I'm fucking ready to kill you.
I had this guy that worked for me that spelled it with a V, and I just to bust his ass, I just called him Steven all the time.
That's great.
But yeah, he didn't think so. But
Saint Stephen is spelled with a PH, so I'll leave it at that. I am a saint.
Yes, Saint Stefan.
I wonder how he's getting back home tonight. I'm going to leave his ass right across the street in that guy's house.
Don't worry. There's an RV right out.
yeah,
We saw it.
Right outside.
We said, I wonder if
There's a
the
guest
radio
room.
show's in the RV. That'd be great.
we've actually done 2 podcasts.
Because Ray's white trash. He's used to an RV, so he likes that.
Oh, we've casted from the.
Yeah, we've done 2 podcasts from the RV. At the beginning of antisocial distancing, we went up to St. Pete right before
on
the campgrounds closed.
Canales, trail.
Yeah, and the guy, the DoorDash guy, we ordered some food, right? The DoorDash guy came and he said, I can't believe you're here. I mean, he had his mask on and everything. He's like,
Did they have masks?
yeah. He said, why aren't they shutting it down?
Well, I
What
got
was his name?
DoorDash story for you when I was in California with my girlfriend. It's another story, but
Well, hit it.
no, I'm saying, but you were saying that the DoorDash they get anal, right?
Well, they just like, they're weird about everything.
Weird. So this is the thing. I ordered from Grubhub and DoorDash. So I order from DoorDash. My girlfriend puts the order in, and I go, all right, you know what? Let me just go downstairs. She goes, no, they deliver to the door.
It's called DoorDash, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, this nut decided they didn't even want to come into the hotel. I had to go into the parking lot to get my food. And she sees me coming, and she's like, I'm Steve. You got my order from, I think it was, who's the chicken joint that we liked?
Popeyes.
No, not that one. The other one.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
No, the religious one. The guys that did nuts on Sunday, they closed down.
Chick-fil-A.
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 Chick-fil-A. Yeah, Chick-fil-A. Yeah.
That's it.
So Chick-fil-A. So, you know, she sees me come.
They close on Sundays.
Yeah.
Listen, everything was closed on
Yeah, well,
Sundays
yeah,
up
when I
until
grew
about
up, yeah,
12 fucking
everything
years
was, yeah.
ago.
She sees me coming, and she drops it and backs away like it's a fucking bomb. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So I had ordered soup. Now the soup's all over the fucking bag. I'm like, really? I'm like, you know what? I'm going to kill somebody because this whole COVID shit better end soon because I'm about done.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
me too.
Tuesday, I ordered from Cold Stone.
Oh, yeah, that's
And-
the ice cream place, right?
Yeah, and the Dasher.
You got that picture
Yeah,
handy?
I've got it handy. I'll just.
The
flash it.
Dasher. I like the way you call him the Dasher.
The Dasher.
Grubhub was good. They came right to the door, knocked on.
Bluetooth me it. I'll put it up.
Um,
So the guy comes and he's in order to prove that he's made the delivery, he has to take a
they
picture
have
of
to take
where,
a picture, you know,
Like
that they
Amazon
drop it
does.
off.
Yeah.
yeah. So he takes this goofy ass picture of him
Well,
running away from Jazmine.
So he,
Like,
yeah, he had a moment where I can't do it.
because she's not wearing. We'll put it up. We'll put it on Twitter for everybody
Yeah.
at
But
Tipcast239.
I came around the corner and he may have been a little flamboyant too, because he with the bag in one hand and me coming around the corner, it was like the and then he was like,
he made a big deal out of it.
yeah,
like
and
you
then
scared the shit out of him.
kind of like that,
Yeah.
like
I had a rattlesnake in the bag.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's like, we're supposed to leave it at the door, and I'm like,
this ain't a door.
I'm at the door.
I said
She was outside the door, just standing there.
I was like, I didn't want the dogs to bark, so I thought I would grab it for you. And he was like, well, I have to take a picture that we dropped it off. So I'm like, what do you do? So I pose with so then he sends me this to let me know and confirm that he dropped off my delivery.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm holding them.
Thank you.
That's going to have to be our profile picture for a little bit. Hey,
So
before we
stupid.
wrap things up for the night, there's one more thing that we would love to entice you guys with if you have time, and that is one draw from the bucket of conspiracies.
Sure. What's that?
Who wants to? Well, you're going to have to pick the conspiracy.
Is that the
I
bucket?
think Ray's been so quiet. I think he needs
Yeah,
to.
we need
pick
to-
from
we
the
need to
bucket
get you
of
involved,
conspiracy.
Ray.
Nappy time for Ray, just so everybody knows.
Here, why don't you mix it up
This
more?
is nappy time for Ray. Okay, Ray. He'll be out. I'll get in the car with him. He'll be out cold within a minute.
Man, I hope it's the one I'm hoping for.
But I thought you were hitting the cigar bar after this.
Yeah, we will. He has no
But
choice.
he has to take his
Take
little nap.
a nap. Yeah.
Power nap.
Actually, the one that he picked. This is all you, Jasmine Star.
MK Ultra.
MK Ultra.
All right, Ray Marino. Now, the purpose of the bucket of conspiracies is to find out how much our friends know about these conspiracy theories. So, what do you know, sir, about MK Ultra?
MK Ultra.
Ultra is the beer you
Oh,
drink.
beer.
Like Mick Ultra.
Yeah, Mick Ultra.
Yeah, I think that's where they probably got the name for
You
Mick
know,
Ultra.
my favorite beer right now is the Mick Ultra Gold.
Gold.
That I
Yeah, we
drink
like
all the time.
gold.
What's the difference?
It's got a
organic.
heavier taste. It's more tastes more like a beer than the.
So,
It's
like
organic.
Michelob? Like regular Michelob?
It's
Is it- does it
it's a
still
better.
have 90
Yeah, listen,
calories?
Michelob Ultra is
Does,
like
I
drinking
think it has
water anyway,
98.
but it's good.
But it's organic.
That's not why he
But
likes
what's
it.
the question?
So the
MK
question is,
Ultra.
what do you know about MK Ultra? And so far, I think
Or if
we've...
you had to surmise.
Yeah. What's it about? What do you
Well,
think
the
it is?
surmisation, Michelob Ultra is good.